Hello, and this is Kingy here with another Raid Shadow Legends video, and I just wanted to make a team with you guys. So I'm going to make a team, we're going to run it, and then... no, I don't want to do that. Boom, boom. Hello, and this is King here with another Raid Shadow Legends video, and today I was going to do a video where I make a team and you can see the process of making the team. Now this team I'm going to make, I don't want it to be an exceptionally high damage team. I want this team to be a survivalist team, and it's going to be a survivalist team on Ultra Nightmare Clan Boss. Now, this team here, I'm specifically aiming for a 2 or a 3 key team. Preferably maybe more even a 3 key team, because I don't want the damage to be insane, because I don't want to have to be putting really good gear on these champions. I'm going to keep the gear at sort of where you want gear to be on an Ultra Nightmare team, but right at the bottom. So we're talking 3k defense, 40k HP, not even full crit cap. I'm going to try and keep the gear as low as I can, so bear with me with the gear in mind. A lot of the champions are not going to be, their gear is not going to be leveled up totally, just enough to hit the speed and the accuracy requirements and whatnot, and to hit that 3k defense and 40k HP threshold. Now the point of this video, the point of this team is just so you can see how you build a team, what you're really aiming for. I won't go too heavy on the masteries because I do have a video coming out on masteries eventually. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm going to try and build a team that's just going to live forever, so then you can see how easy it is to build such a team. And then I'll have a very low damage dealer, or maybe even 2 champions you could pull out for damage dealers. So I'll have a look around, see what we could do. I was thinking about using Steel Skull and Bad Alcazar. So Bad Alcazar, just because he's new and I want to use him. Steel Skull because champion is OG. But I still might not go Steel Skull, because in a team like this, I'm a bit up in the air with it. Because Steel Skull will be there for one purpose only, and that's to cleanse the stun. So not a very good use case for Steel Skull, and will also be a weak affinity, so I'm not 100% sure how we're going to go. We might end up running a run and then swapping out the team. I don't want to do that too much, because otherwise the video will go for hours. But again, we're not looking for a 2 key team. A 3 key is fine. We just want to build a team that has crazy survivability, and then you bring in a damage dealer, and then all of a sudden you've got a 2 key team, or you upgrade your gear, and etc, etc. So this is just to show what, you know, the sort of lower sort of gear teams can do, with some pretty standard champions with a lot of champion options. So I might be bringing in Bad Alcazar, but you can bring in any cleanser, like an Anchorite. You could bring in a Valerie. All these sort of champions. Just makes the composition a little bit harder to build if it was a Valerie. But an Anchorite, on the other hand, he has that increased critical rate buff, so that makes it easier in that sense. And he also has extend buffs. Then you can either run the team with 1 or 2 buff extenders, and then you got a lot going on for you. So anyway, that's what our plan is, so let's get into it. I'm going to build a team whilst I record, and we'll see how it goes. I might edit it after if it takes me ages to figure out a good team, or to get builds, or if I run out of silver and then I have to farm some more silver. But we'll see how it all goes. So the first thing with any clan boss team, figure out what sort of team you want to build. So I've got a few champions that have half gear on them, or no gear, or recently built champions that I was thinking about using for this comp. So we've got Versoff the Grim, who I think I want to use. Most of his gear is stripped out there. He's got the ally protection, the increased defense, he's got a leech and a shield on himself. So that's pretty awesome, and he's got a HP in all battles as well. And then we've got a new champion in, a really good champion that is, but Bad Alcazar. So he's got the cleanse with continuous heals and poisons. He's also got more damage against targets under poison, and he's got a healing A1 on his attacks all enemies, heals this champion and all allies by 20% of the damage inflicted. and he's got a critical rate aura, which is also can be quite good. So I think I'm going to build a slow tune team, so that way the gearing is easy, and maybe I can get away with not having speed boots on some of these champions. That's my plan. We'll see what happens. So I think I might go with Bad Alcazar. I might keep him in Guardian. He's in half a Guardian and a Perception set. So I might keep him in Guardian and run him with Verse Off the Grim, which means that'll make me affinity friendly if I have him cleanse the decreased speed on a Spirit Affinity, which means I need either a stun target or I need someone again to help cleanse the stun. And a really cool OG champion for that, since we got Bad Alcazar, who's also an OG champion, I was thinking we might bring in Steel Skull. So he has the single target cleanse and heal on his A2, and I might just turn off his A3 so we can try and get more poisons out of him and to cleanse the stun. So not very useful. He's filling a very niche role and not doing a lot. But with this team, I thought, hey, maybe we'll just try him out. So that's 3 champions. Then we want someone who's going to debuff. So a debuff champion you want to look at could be a Venomage. Maybe she ignites poisons. She does poisons, does decrease defense and decrease attack. And then she's got heal reduction and poison. Enemies under heal reduction inflict 15% less damage. She's got some gear that would all have to be stripped, so she could be quite expensive to do. So maybe not Venomage. Awesome champion though. Farrakhan the Fat, he does bring a decreased defense, some poisons, HP burn, and also increased critical rate and damage, which will make everyone a bit easier to build, not having to worry about hitting the crit cap because you'll have the buff to boost you up. And of course with an ally attack, so more damage. But I don't think I have a decrease attack champion then, do I? Because Bad Alcazar doesn't bring any decrease attack, and then Verse Off the Grim doesn't either. His A1 is a Provoke, and his A2 is a Leech. He is Force Affinity. Provoke and a Leech. So we do need a decrease attack champion, and of course the decrease defense champion. So, like I said, I might edit out some bits so as I try and work something out. But maybe we'll go Venomage. You know, she does ignite those poisons. She can do a little bit of damage. We'll see how we go with the build, and we might go with that. So that's 4 champions. And then with this style team, I really like to have buff extenders. This way I've got ally protection all the way around, increased defense all the way around, everything is sorted, I don't have to worry about anything. So for buff extenders, we have got Godseeker Neri, amazing, she also brings heals and an increased heal. We got Enchirite, but I haven't even looked at his masteries, haven't even finished them yet, so I don't really want to go with him at the moment. Otherwise he could be awesome. I could take, if I used him, then I could actually take Steel Skull out and just use him and Bad Elf for the cleanse. I got Sandlash Survivor, so she's awesome. She's in some lifesteal gear at the moment. She's got masteries and all that, so I could easily go her. And then of course you also got Valerie, a rare champion, rare magic affinity champion. Because her base stats are not that great, it is harder to build her out. She also does have the decrease the duration of all buffs on all allies and decrease the duration of all debuffs on all allies by 1 turn. And then a small version of increased attack. So maybe actually I could go with her, drop Steel Skull, go with Valerie, a rare champion, and then I could bring in another DPS champion, maybe someone who'll strip the buff or something like that. Not too sure, I was pretty keen on using Steel Skull as an OG champion. So I might still go Steel Skull, and then I might just go... So the problem with going with Sandlash is that that's so many spirit champions I'm bringing in then. Because I'm already bringing in a couple. Venomage is magic, Steel Skull is magic, then I've got 2 Force Affinities. I suppose I can make Sandlash Survival work. I don't need the heals from Godseeker Neri, and Godseeker Neri is in a pretty strong build I don't really want to pull apart. Alright, so we'll go with those teams. We'll go with Sandlight Survivor, Steel Skull, Venomage, Versoth the Grim, and Bad Alcazar. So that means we're going to run... So we can't have Bad Alcazar as the aura lead, because we don't want him taking the stun hit. So we need to run Versoth above him, which means Versoth will be the stun target on a Spirit Affinity. I think the clan boss is currently on Magic Affinity for Ultra Nightmare. But still, we want to build this team to be set up to go for all affinities, regardless of what the clan boss is on. So, well, the clan boss is on Magic Affinity. We'll just go with Bad Alcazar as the lead for now, so that way he doesn't take this, because he won't be taking the stun because he's strong affinity, and then we can use his aura. And then, of course, you can change gear later and move champions around and all that sort of stuff. This is just to give you a bit of an idea of what we're doing, how we're building it, etc, etc. So we'll start off with Versoth the Grim, because he will be the slowest champion. So we go up to here, click on Versoth. We'll try and put him in Stalwalk here, because he will be taking a bit of extra damage from the ally protection that he places, and keep his critical damage low as well. So we want accuracy. Let's see if we can pick up stuff without taking anything away from anyone. It's got speed and some flat defense. That's got a tiny bit of accuracy and a tiny bit of defense. Maybe if we get enough speed on him through substats, we can actually go with a different sort of boots. So we'll just see how the speed goes for now. He's got accessories on, so we'll leave that as it is for now. Then we wanted to look at Stalwalk here. So we need a weapon. Doesn't need to be a great weapon because he's not based on attack. Let's get a bit of attack, but it's got critical rate, it's got accuracy, that's got speed, but a bunch of attack. And that's got speed and some attack as well. What else we got? Speed and accuracy. We'll try this one here. It's not running on any attack or any speed. If we go with HP percentage, attack percentage, HP percentage, defense percentage. So we'll go HP percentage there. What's that? 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's Stalwalk gear done. Then we can have a look at maybe... We don't need the accuracy, so we don't need perception. Could go resilience, or we could go immortal, give him some more heals. That could actually be quite strong. So do we have any defense percentage on... No defense percentage. That's got decent defense substat roll. So we might try that. And then the boots. Defense percentage. Speed. I think we're going to have to go the speed here. So what's that? 185. That's too fast. I'm wanting him to be around 171, 172. So maybe if we swap that banner out for the other one, this here will go down to 173. That's pretty good. Very good. Critical rate, we probably want to bump that up a little bit more. So here we go, +6 and +250 on that, and we get to lose some critical damage as well. So with Bad Al's aura, that'll take us to 100%. Solid defense, tons of HP, plenty of accuracy. No, yeah, that's a good build, and we didn't have to change anyone, so that's pretty sweet. And if we still have silver left over, we can actually, we could probably take that up to maybe level 15, maybe not 16. We don't want to get a speed roll there and mess up the gear as it already is. So that's him. So then our fastest champion is going to be Bad Alcazar. We probably want to get him on like 181 speed because he's doing a cleanse, not a block debuff or anything like that. So Again, this is magic affinity, so we won't be having to strip out the decreased speed, but to make it affinity friendly, I think would be really cool. So if we go and have a look at the Guardian set, and see if we can finish that off. Undo the equipped. See how we go without having to spend too much money. Silver. So we'll just go with speed, I think, just to make things easy. So that's plus 40 speed, plus 5, lose some critical rate. Try this one, it gives us a bit of critical damage, so that way you can hit harder, do some more heals. Then we'll have a look at what weapons he's got. So 14 speed, 178. I do want him a bit faster than that. Nothing there. Plus 3, but then I lose the critical rate. What about if we try and swap out one of these? Plus 5, plus 6. I want more plus 3. So we can't swap that out. What about the shield? Nothing available there. Not really anyway. Let's have a look at the perception sets. So if we have a look at the chests here, we'll go to 6 stars. Here we go. Attack percentage. No, we want a little bit of speed. 5, 6. That's all heaps of speed. Um, 4. That's pretty good. It's closer to what we want. 7. This here we only lose 3 critical rate. We get plus 7, and maybe I think in that Guardian set we had an item to drop the speed in the helmets, I think we've seen. Plus 6. Where was it? Could have sworn I seen one. Ooh. Or was it a weapon? Plus 3, but then yeah, you lose the critical rate. So what if we go and try and pick up some speed and critical rate, and then go to the weapon and drop some speed? Here we go, minus 9. Perfect. 181 speed, 93% critical rate, more than we need. 250% accuracy, 93% critical rate. Decent HP, decent defense. Would personally like more HP than that, considering he is in a Guardian set. But I don't think we're going to get the speed tune if we try and look and fish around for some better HP stats. I think we're best is to go with what we got. Maybe we could change out a ring. Not really, the rings are pretty good. And the banner I like, maybe. 18, 6, no. Alright, so we'll just go with this build for now. A bit low on the HP, but we'll see how it goes. What are his masteries? Masteries are decent, don't need to mess with them at the moment. Do we have a look at Verse off the Grimm's masteries? I can't remember. Verse off the Grimm. Ooh, yes, he needs masteries. So we'll probably go the defense tree for him. So I was going to do a video, a sort of complete guide on masteries. I was planning on making my next video. But for clan boss, masteries can become pretty well and simple. It just depends what you are after. So with a team like this here, it's a bit of a hard one, because you can go with the Heart of Glory, so you get more damage when you have full HP, or you can go with the Grim Resolve, so in the later ends of the fight, you know, when you're lower HP, you would do a tiny bit more damage, but it will also help you with a bit of a heal and whatnot. And I'm just going to go with that one. I don't think it really matters with this champion, because he's not a damage dealer, but we'll see what happens. Alright, so that's those two champions, the fastest and the slowest. So the next fastest we want is going to be Steel Skull. So he needs to be about that 180 or so speed. Yes, so he needs to be about that 180 or so speed. But what gear would we run him on? We could run him on pretty much anything. Could even be a broken set. It's not too critical. We could also go Retaliation to get him to do more A1s. Then he can do more poison possibility, more damage and whatnot. Also Toxic could do the same thing, but just with weak poisons. I don't think it would be worth it with this champion. Could just go for a Perception build, just solid builds. Could also go Guardian again. What are his base stats? 958 defense, 16 chaos. So I wouldn't run him in Guardian set. He isn't the strongest champion. So we'll have a look at, do we have any Retaliation gear sort of built? Leveled up, I mean. We got that, we've got that. Speed. We'll go with the speed for now. Speed and critical damage. Now we don't have to crit cap him because we do have the critical rate aura coming from Bad El-Khazar. So if we look at that at the moment, that means we need defense and HP, and some accuracy as well. So he doesn't have an accuracy banner on him, so that there's something we could also always put into play and always use. But maybe if I just got a perception set, and would be pretty sweet. Which means that we could probably get an aura to make him a bit stronger. We'll put that speed on him for now, and then we'll see if we can just go like defense boots, HP chest. I think that would be really solid. So what have we got? Attack, speed. That was defense. That's attack, speed, speed, speed. So that's defense there. Some critical rate and some attack as well. I think his damage is based on attack, so that could be quite handy actually. So we'll go with that one for now, and then we'll see if we can pick up some HP here. HP, some speed, and critical damage. Takes him to 169, so we need 10 more speed really from him to make that work. Speed, attack percentage gives him 13. That's pretty solid. 12. With attack percentage boots. His defense drops far too low for that. Alright, so we're probably going to have to level something up for this champion. This has got speed as a substat, but his other substats are terrible. Attack. And that there's got accuracy. So none of that really works out for what we want there. So we'll come back into the banner, see what we've got if we can pick up some speed with the accuracy. Not really. Not really at all. But that has got some decent stats there. So we might grab that banner, and we'll head back over here and have a look at what else we can pick up. Don't think I'm going to be in luck here. Trying to get that extra speed, I think. Ooh, that is defense percentage though. Start at the top. So I think we'll just have a look at what other champions have got and what gear we can steal from other people. I think that's going to be our best bet. If we wanted to go with the retaliation set. But like I said, retaliation on this champion could be really good. Oh, look at that. That's got 6 speed. Takes him to 180. Okay. That's pretty good. just his defense. So those defense boots that we had before, that loses 12 speed. Where are the other ones? These ones here. We'll just take these to level 12, see what happens. Pretty good there, only 400k. Got 1 speed roll as well, so that's solid. So we'll chuck that on him. Still at 180 speed. He has still got pretty low defense. So we'll take it to 16 and hope we don't get the speed roll. Resistance. So pretty terrible boots in all fairness, but they'll be pretty good for him for this build. 3000 defense, 41k HP. That's pretty much the minimum you want to get to. Of course, we can also upgrade his ring to help with his stats there. We can find something that'll just bump his HP and his defense. That's alright. Not the greatest. Defense with a solid HP roll. Let's go with that. Now we're talking 43k HP, almost 3.2k defense, second farthest, full crit cap, a little bit of damage and plenty of accuracy. So that's 1, 2 and 3 champions done. And we can also upgrade this here for more HP, but we might get a speed roll, so I'm not going to do that this time. His masteries are also set. So that is 1, 2 and 3 champions. Alright, we're going good. All we need to do now is Sandlash Survivor. Now the reason why I have ended up opting for Sandlash Survivor is she is Spirit Affinity. So I can actually put her above Steel Skull in the turn order, meaning that she gets the stun hit, so Steel Skull can cleanse her. Because if he was the only Spirit Affinity against Magic Affinity, he would take the stun hit, and then all that work we put in is wasted. So masteries are good. So now we just need her gear set. Now she does have the Ally Protection passive ability, which can be quite awesome, but also could also become a challenge with if she does it at the wrong time and takes too much damage and whatnot. But considering I don't think this team is going to last turn past 50, I don't think it's going to be an issue. So we could either go with a damage build for her, or we could go in a Stalwart set. Take the equip off. So we'll see what we have in terms of Stalwart. Where is it? Stalwart here. Alright, we've still got a few pieces here, so we'll just chuck these on and see what happens. Defense, HP. So with her accuracy, she could actually help with taking off the increased attack. If we brought another champion that could do a strip, but I don't think that's going to be viable at all. Minus 20. 171. Then if we want to have a look at, say, Immortal again. Minus 9. If we mate, we got pretty high critical rate from the substats, and that's Stalwart gear. So maybe we'll just go critical damage on the gloves. And we might get quite lucky there. So all we need is some speed on the weapon and we are awesome. And we don't have any. That's going to be enough. Let's just try our luck. Got one there. It's only +3 though. Don't want to roll up legendary pieces, too much RNG. At least here, you know, you got the 33% chance to land in the speed. Let's get weapon. Try it. We'll see if we can get a double speed here. Damn it. Alright, so that's not quite going to work out. We might just chuck that on if there's no one else that'll give us more speed for now. And then, oh, thought I just saw one. Oh yeah, that. +2 in HP. Alright, so we'll go with that, and then we'll come back up to the Stalwart gear and then try and swap her out. Stalwart gear. Because we don't actually need that much critical rate, do we? Ooh, 11. It might be a bit too high. 180, yeah, so we just need to drop a tiny bit of speed now. Of course, always the play. Ah yes, and we can swap out that weapon that we just had before to get -1. Where is it? This one here, -1. So, low as hell HP, really good defense, plenty of critical damage. Alright, let's see what banner we've got on. That'll give us +1 on the speed. But I think that's what we want to do. I think we want to try and find a HP banner. That's just going to boost our HP a ton. Ooh, 5,000 and a ton of defense. Don't care about accuracy. There we go. 43k HP, 4.1k defense. Shield ring is fine, and I'm assuming that's a critical damage amulet. Yes, it is. We can go with this one here, which would give us more HP to survive a bit more. A little bit less defense, but that's fine. Alright, so that is Soundless Survivor. Done. Alright, we're going pretty good. Now we just got to do Venomage. He's just got to fit between everybody else's speed. So she can be about 175 to 177, I think, is what we're going to aim for. Venomage. Her masteries are good enough. Alright. So she's got an accuracy banner on. She's in half a relentless and a speed set. So with Venomage, if we wanted to, we could go with a stalwart set, and then we could just build her for crazy damage, and we don't have to worry too much about her survivability. But I think we've used up pretty much all the stalwart gear that I've got built. Oh no, we still got a bit there. Alright, well that's got attack percentage, so that might be pretty good. That's got some solid attack, that's got accuracy, speed and defense. We'll try with the attack first. And the attack again. Critical rate. Yeah, I think we're going to have to go critical rate because we're not getting quite enough critical rate from the substats so far. So we'll go with that. We've got really low speed though. So we might... Oh, we still got speed boots to go on. Right. So that's a ton of speed. Okay, yes, we can't run speed set. So maybe we can go resilience set. Make her a bit more... Ooh. Good critical rate, good critical damage. Defense, speed, no, we don't want speed. Critical rate again, 140. Is there a critical damage? There is, 2 of them. This one here's got a critical rate on the substat. We'll see how we go. If we can get lucky on that, we might just chuck this on. So that's 1, and damn it. Is that enough? Minus 50? Yeah, that's enough. We're running a critical rate aura. So yeah, that'll be fine. 193 damage, 2.9. Yeah, that's plenty, especially if she's on a stalwart set. Alright, that's awesome. Alright, we'll just upgrade that up. Actually, we'll put it on her first, in case we devour all of our silver. Yeah, surely we won't lose that much. 700k. Alright. Now that's a solid build for her. So what does she end up with? She's got 42k HP, just under 3k defense, but with a stalwart set, and she'll have ally protection and increased defense. 173 speed, so ooh, we probably want a tiny bit more speed, don't we? Because first off, the Grim is at 173. Just want to make sure that does not get messed up. +6 is too much. Okay, got a little over exuberant there. Do we have like a 1-star speed glyph? No, I've used all of them. Alright then. Nothing. Okay, maybe we can change out this. That's +4. +4 brings me to 177. That'll still fit in 80% with the aura's good. Tiny bit more damage. Lose a bit of attack. Not that that's really going to matter because her attack is so low that she's not actually going to do much damage there. Anyway. Alright, we'll go with that. I'll just see if we can get a better ring on her for some damage. So that's no, no. Unfortunately not. We can't get any. Ooh, that's got some decent attack. Lose a bit of HP and defense though. I wonder if we have an attack amulet. We do. Counterattack 1. I think this might be better if we can get it to 16. Damn. No, we can't. We'll double on the critical damage as well, so I might sell some stuff, put her in that. She'll gain HP. She'll only lose a little bit of critical damage. Oh, it's HP, not attack. Oh, it's attack substat. Is it? Oh, no, I had it. Damn it. Alright, never mind. That's unfortunate. Yeah. Alright then. So I might just, yeah, we might just get back into the team comp and then see if we can do that run. Yeah, it's losing way too much defense. Alright. So she won't do that much damage, but we'll see what happens. Alright, so we've got a team setup. Is this in Ultra Nightmare? Better double check that. Haha, Nightmare. Ultra Nightmare. Alright, team setup. Come down here to the bottom. And we will go with my unleveled, or not almost fully leveled, Bad Alcazar. Then we're going to go with, we'll go with Senna Survivor next. Followed by Venomage. Oh, Venomage, my new awesome champion. And then, first off, the Grim. And lastly, and probably least, Steel Skull. What fun. So this is a slow comp, which means that Bad Alcazar will open with his A1, and his A2 will be the turn after. Verse off the Grim will be opening with this. I'll just set that as first choice. Steel Skull, we want to turn that off. We're going to open with that, but then we're also going to delay it one more time. Yep. And then Venomage, not too critical there, but I think what we're going to do is we're going to open with that, and we're going to delay it one more time. So then she does her decreased defense and decreased attack after the stun hit. So that way, because the third hit, the stun hit itself is not based on attack, and that's only for 2 turns. So I think it'd be better to do that before the 2 AoEs. And then Sandler Survivor will do her extension after 1 turn. So a tiny bit of manualing there with Venomage to make it most efficient, and then Steel Skull to put it in sync. Alright, we'll give it a new name. Alright, that's a good name for it. Seems pretty accurate. Alright, so keep it on auto for 1 turn, but then we've got to make sure that Steel Skull and Venomage are delayed an extra 1. So everyone can do their thing. He attacks us, we go, ow, that hurt. He goes, I don't care. Yes. So now everyone's got ally protection, well, except for him, and then increased defense. So then Bad Alcazar will do his cleanse. Steel Skull, like I said, we want to delay 1 more. She's going to do the extension. And Venomage is going to delay 1 more. And then we're in full auto. Probably should have delayed the leech 1 more turn. So as we come around that rotation, I might delay that as well. That way we have leech and defense down together. And then Bad Alcazar heals will be after that. So yeah, so after turn 5 we'll hit auto off and then see what happens. Alright, so good. Wait. So yeah, that's his leech, so we'll just go with his A1. And sorted. Hey, I thought I had his... Oh no, okay. 1 minute, I'll be right back. Okay, the one thing we forgot to do was to prioritize Steel Skull. So that A2 needs to be on first choice. So then that champion is using it. Whoops. Told you it was a bad video. Alright, let's try that again. Man, this video is turning out to go for ages, so I might try and edit out a bunch of it. So, to reedify, everyone can do their stuff for the first turn. That was just his retaliations, and nothing to worry about. Yes, yes, he does his stuff. Take it off auto for now. So Verse off the Grim goes with Cleanse, Poisons, Continuous Heals. Steel Skull, A1 again. Sandlash Extension. Venomage, A1 again. And then Verse off, A1 again, and then full auto. Right, so now we should be good. Yep, so we've done the cleanse that time on the stunned Sandlash Survivor as he's supposed to, and now we're all good. So you have to prioritize that A2, otherwise his AI would just do his A1. Okay, now let's see how this team goes. Not quite sure how it's going to go. I, as you can tell, have only just built the team with you guys along for the ride, so I hope it works out. We've got a bunch of heals. We're getting a good collection of poisons. We've got some decent damage mitigation. We've hit the general stats of the 3k defense, the 4k, 40k HP. So in general for Clan Boss Ultra Nightmare, you want about over 4,000 defense, like 41 or 49, something around there. But if you have increased defense buff, then you only need about 3k defense, because his buff will bump you up to about 4.5k, and you're pretty in the sweet spot. And then of course, if you're running an aura, you can get away with even less. And then if you run a champion like Iron Brago, who gives you more defense based on his passive, then you can get away with even less again. So yeah, a lot of ways around having to build heaps of defense. I think in one of my earlier videos where I done a 1 key with a survivability team using Iron Brago, I think some of the champions there actually had some pretty low defense. Maybe not the team that I made the video with, but there was a team there that was hitting, I think, just over 1 key, and one of the champions had like 2.6 or 2.5k defense, which was just crazy to last like 65 turns against Ultra Nightmare Clan Boss with that low defense. But you have the aura, you got Brago's passive, then you got increased defense, and then plus ally protection, guardian sets, and all that other damage mitigation. So this team seems to be working well. It's a very easy team, not a high damage team, as you can tell. Turn 15, only with turn 16, only with about 7 mil, 6.7 mil damage. So even though we're getting a collection of poisons out there, we're not quite getting the damage. Venomage obviously is not going to hit too hard because she doesn't have a very high attack. And then Sandlash Survivor, her hits will be decent, but again, nothing too crazy. It's just one champion, and she's also weak affinity. We have 2 weak affinity champions in this team. So yeah, so definitely a low damage team, but with the potential to survive for ages and potential to deal damage if you brought in some different gear or different champions. Again, the easiest champion in this whole comp to replace is in fact Steel Skull. Again, if you're going against, say, Spirit Affinity, then Bad Alcazar, well, naturally you can't have him taking the stun because he is faster than Steel Skull. And you can't have Steel Skull faster than him because you need him to cleanse the decreased speed beforehand. So that's where it can become a little tricky. You could also do a block debuff champion, even if it's only block debuff for 1 turn, like I think Grizzle from memory is. There is a few champions that have that. So of course you can run a champion like that just simply goes after Bad L, maybe even before Sandlash Survivor. And then you can also get the extension on the block debuffs. So that way, everyone's all good when they come with the poison hint. So that's a good option there as well. Steel Skull I just wanted to put in, just for fun. It's Steel Skull. Used to be a very, very big player in some of my really old Clan Boss teams. Back when I was 1 I was 2 keying and just getting into 1 keying Nightmare just before I pulled Sepulchre Sentinel. So haven't used Steel Skull in a long time. Again, weak affinity here against this current clan boss, so it's going to be a little bit unfortunate. You're going to go, an old champion? I can see why people don't use him anymore. Alright, so we're taking a fair bit of damage here, which is a bit unfortunate, especially with ally protection and everything going. We are taking far much more damage than I hope we would be by this turn. So I don't think we're going to get a 2 key, which is kind of a surprise considering, you know, we've got Bad Alcazar in this comp, we've got Venomage, so we've got 2 legendaries, 2 very solid epics in Venomage and Soundless Survivor, and then 1 subpar epic with Steel Skull. So a little unfortunate in that sense, but I guess we'll just see how it plays out. Ooh, look at that. Steel Skull took the stun because he had low HP. So that puts the whole comp out of sync because of that, which is quite interesting actually. So yeah, so the team is now going to fall out of sync. Again, I might jump in, mess with the team a little bit, and then of course we could run it again. Alright, so then if we go with Grizzled Jarl, so we want him to fall in after the cleanse, of course, but before the buff extension in Soundless Survivor. So we might have to adjust Soundless Survivor's speed in order to get him to work, unless we can pull him up at 180 speed. And I think we're going to go with Grizzled Jarl over Steel Skull, because instead of going with the cleanse on Steel Skull, we will in fact go with the block debuffs on Grizzled Jarl. And the great thing about Grizzled Jarl is that he also has the decreased attack on his A3 if we build with accuracy, but a negative is that he has heal reduction on his A1. But if we also run a Venomage in the team, then heal reduction has good synergy with her passive, so this might be the champion we go for. So let's have a look at his build, see if we can get him at 180 speed. So if we go, we'll start with the banner, see what we come up with. What's this? Accuracy with defense, accuracy with HP. Plenty of accuracy. We might go with this one here because it is counterattack accessory and we might get lucky. So with Grizzled Jarl, we might put him also in a Guardian set just to help out with the damage mitigation. So if we have a look here, we can get some speed but nothing else there. Speed and defense percentage, we'll try that. Chests, we don't really have anything good built. As for these, we have a little bit of critical rate ones there, but I don't think we're going to need that, so we'll try and get all the other items done with the sets. What's this one? Accuracy, speed. We'll try that one instead. Critical rate, critical damage, plenty of critical rate. We got pretty much survivability stats there, or anyway. Oh shit. Alright, so we'll go with this, we'll go with this. And we'll have a look at perception. So we're looking at defense and HP. So that's defense. Do we have anything good with critical rate or speed? Or critical damage even. 16 speed. Look at this one here. Critical damage with some critical rate and some speed as well. But then we're going to have to try and fish for a chest that's going to give us a ton of speed. Ooh. We lose a lot of HP there though. Good speed though. What's this one? Accuracy. Attack. Defense. Now we want something with really good speed, don't we? 12 speed. Defense percentage. 175, so not quite fast enough. But maybe it's a good start, and then we can have a look at the Guardian gear again and see if we can adjust it from there. We are a little bit low on the HP now, thanks to that, but we'll see what happens. So we gain 6 speed but lose critical rate. We really need to bump that critical rate up, especially since we have a critical damage amulet on. So that's 6. That'll give us all the speed we need, but then we'll still be lacking on the critical rate, even with the critical rate aura that we will be running. 6, 12, 17. Looks at 5 and 11. That's pretty good. That means we can afford to lose a little bit of speed, which might be, I don't think we're going to get any better weapon for critical rate. Yeah. Were there any good boots that had some critical rate? No. Alright, we'll jump back in the perception gear, have a little look there again, because now we can afford to lose that 6 or 7 speed. Oh, look at that. Lose 7 speed. Completely pointless main stat though. Same thing again. It's always the way, isn't it? Attack percentage. That's 5. Lose 5 speed. That could be good. Defense percentage. I really want HP percentage though, to be absolutely honest. So we can also go with that amulet instead. We'll have a look at HP here and see what we come up with. Equipped gear as well. Perception, equipped HP percentage. 3 plus 6. Not quite going to be enough speed loss. 1, 1, 6. Ooh, nice. Here we go, 180 speed. Still only 72% critical rate. Ton of critical damage, good HP, good defense. I think that's what we're going to go with. We'll just have a quick little look here and see what we can get, if we can get anything in terms of a little bit more critical rate. Nice, keeping the tune all good. Oh, that's nice. We could, yeah. But no, nothing there that's going to work with the tune. Come across here to critical rate. I'm sure we got some boots in Guardian that'll give us a critical rate boost that somebody else is wearing. Deacon Armstrong right there. Sepulchre Sentinel will give us a speed boost, as will everyone else from the looks of it. Here will give us an accuracy buff, but we'll still have to level up the banner a little bit in order to make it work. Don't really want to lose the defense. I think I'll just have him not quite at 100% critical rate. And of course we need a bit more silver. We need a lot more silver actually, in order to level up that banner. So, is there a different banner option? Yeah, I'm just going to go with that one. That way we don't have to level that up. Alright. Okay then, so I've adjusted. I adjusted Venomage a little bit just to give her a bit more attack. I actually put her in a cruel set instead of a resilience set. So that way she also ignores a little bit more defense, just to get a tiny bit more damage out of her. And then we're going to go with Grizzled Jarl. Here he is. So Grizzled Jarl's the champion we're going to go with here. So, Bad Alcazar is going to open with his A1. Soundless Survivor, open with her A1. Venomage, open with her A3, where then we've got to delay it one more turn. First off the Grim, obviously this here will be set on main. We might also delay that by one more turn. And then Grizzled Jarl, so this is going to be his main ability. First choice. and he's also going to open with one of his abilities. It doesn't matter which one. We'll say we'll open with the A3. So he's at 180, Sandlash is at 179, Bad Alcazar is at 181, Versov 173, yep, and Venomage 178. Perfect. So that'll be the team. Just got to delay. We don't have to delay Versov, but we will. And we don't have to delay Venomage, but we will by an extra turn. Team name, bad video, naturally. Alright, now let's test this team out. I don't know why I took that off auto. I could have easily left it on auto. Put it back on auto, let everyone do their hits for one turn around. Then we'll take it off auto just to give it its best chance. Alright. So, Bad Alcazar will do his cleanse. Then we got Grizzled Jarl with his block debuffs for one turn. Sandlash with the extension. Venomage A1. First off the Grim A1. Full auto from there out. So now the team will not fall out of any sync. Don't have to worry about any of the stuns. No stun hits will happen. Venomage might do a tiny bit more damage. Gonna lose a bunch of poisons on other affinities, but on Magic Affinity we're not really going to notice it. Hopefully we'll be able to pull out a bit more damage with Grizzled Jarl, and then hopefully we'll also be able to get a tiny bit more damage from Venomage. So we'll see how the team runs. I might just let it run for a little bit and then hit fast forward. Since Steel Skull didn't work out, maybe this guy will. Grizzled Jarl. So we traded a very old school epic. Don't get me wrong, Steel Skull is amazing. More so in probably a counterattack team, and maybe a team where you need Steel Skull's increased defense, so that way that champion's doing 2 or 3 things, not just one very subpar thing that they couldn't do properly, i.e. the cleansing of the stun. So in a team maybe with a counterattack team with Skull Crusher, Steel Skull could be amazing, because she could Steel Skull could run in a 4-to-3 ratio, bring the increased defense. Skull Crusher won't need increased defense when he places the counterattack up, and then counterattack means gets more A1s, and then the cleanse will be a bit different because Skull Crusher will definitely be the one taking it because low HP and everybody else will have counterattack, so it'll be a lot easier team to run with that unreliable cleanse. Of course you can just run Steel Skull as a poisoner and increased defense champion and not rely on the cleanse, but if you've got the champion there, you want them doing as many possible rolls as possible. Alright, so we'll let the team run out a little bit. The damage definitely doesn't seem like it's anywhere near any good, so I don't think this is still a 2-key team, but we'll see how long they survive for, and then I suppose we will find out. So here we are, coming up to turn 50. Now this is really good for this team to survive this long. Now, if I was to pull Venomage out and put in a Geomancer, we would be hitting 2-key damage almost now, because of his reflect damage just does a ton on affinity. And then he's also going to be removing that increased attack buff with his A2, placing it on himself. And of course we also got a HP burn tick and all of that. So if you had a Geomancer instead of a Venomage, you have got yourself an easy 2-key team. Now, Venomage is a great champion, but for this team here, the Geomancer would just be a total boss. So, I'll let this team run out, let the run finish, see how far we get. I think we'll probably die just before turn 60 from the looks of things. But I think we'll let it run out, and I might run a Geomancer instead of a Venomage, because again, we don't need the poisons, and that means with Grizzled Jarl, that means we're going to have to rely more on his increased attack, which is a bit unfortunate because it's on a 4-turn cooldown, which means you'd have to start running him on a 4-to-3 ratio, which then changes the turns all a bit more. So maybe I won't do that, but yeah, if you ran the Grizzled Jarl on a 4-to-3 ratio, making sure he's got his double turn after the AoE 1, before the AoE 2, so before the ally protection goes up, and then you can rely on his decrease buffs, and that'll actually sync out well because before the stun hit, he would do his increased defense and block debuffs, and then after the stun hit, he would do his no, other way around, isn't it? Yeah, he would do his decrease attack too early then, wouldn't he? You might be able to find a way around it. Again, if he wasn't fully booked, then it goes easy. So there we go, first death at turn 59. So yeah, if you brought in a Geomancer, and then had somehow brought in a decrease attack, or again, you ran, what's his name, Grizzled Jarl at a 4-to-3 ratio to use his decrease attack, then the team changes completely, and you have got yourself a 2-key team. Again, you could also run a Razin Scarhide. He's got decreased defense, he's got weaken, and he's got strip buff, and he's also got a ton of damage. So this team here, really solid team for surviving. All you need to do now is put in damage. So that's the team. As I said, the damage is quite low, but that damage could so easily be improved. So the whole point of this team here was that you see how to build a team, that's going to survive a long time. Turn 60, this team survived, which is what I was not expecting. I was predicting 45 to 50, maybe just past 50. Again, if we had someone to strip the increased attack, like the Geomancer, the Razin Scarhide, we could have survived even further, which is, I think, pretty insane to consider. Yeah. So, very, very strong team. All you need now is your damage. Again, Sandler Survivor, done hardly any damage, especially being on weak affinity. She can, however, put out a ton of damage. In one of my other comps, the comp that I referred to earlier, she was my second biggest damage dealer. If you want to watch that video, I'll try and remember to pin it. And please do let me know in the comments whether you want to see teams that are 2, maybe even 3 key teams, or if you want me to go out, save a bunch of silver, put some really top of the line gear on some really good champions, and be more like 60 million damage or even 1 key damage with survivalist teams. I quite like survivalist teams. There's a lot of thinking that goes into them to make them work right. But if you want to get a 1 key, you sort of need to go on a 2-to-1 ratio, or a really strong counter-attack team, or a team that's just going to live forever. So the 1 key teams are actually quite a challenge to build, unless you put every resource towards them. So this is this team. As you can see, Venomage putting out 8.2 million. So still the highest damage dealer, but again, we could still go a lot more damage. Like if you put in Razin Scarhide instead of Venomage, you would probably die around turn 50. But Razin Scarhide with the right gear would also do 15 to 20 mil of damage, plus depending on your gear, just by himself. And his decreased defense and weaken would also increase everybody else's damage. And because Bad Alcazar has the passive where damage is increased, so Razin Scarhide's damage would just be astronomical. So Again, Venomage easily replaceable. Grizzled Jarl can be replaced. Sandless Survivor, plenty of options. Bad Alcazar, for example. This team does not need a bad Alcazar. You could actually run that other champion we were talking about. What is his name? The one that I haven't done the masteries on. Where is he? You could run... No, I'm looking at him. Here we go. Anchorite. Because his A2 removes one random debuff from all allies, then increases the duration of all ally buffs by 1 turn, which would make you Spirit Affinity friendly. So that could be quite solid if you brought in this sort of champion rather than Bad Alcazar. Again, a Valerie can do a very similar thing, but I wouldn't go as far as to say the same thing. And if I did run an Anchorite, then I would probably... then again, all things sort of change, but yeah, plenty of options with the team, plenty of options to do for certain. So that's the little video. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for actually watching out the whole thing and meeting me here at the end. Alright, well, I'll catch you all later, and au revoir, I suppose.